What's up, everybody? I'm Thomas J. Bellezza, and welcome to another lesson of the right mindset. Today, we are going to go over basically step 9 to writing a novel, alpha readers and questions. You can't go wrong with alpha readers. So this is for a novel specifically. So, in this lesson, we'll explore what alpha readers are, why they're crucial, and how they can breathe life into your narrative. Let's get into it. Roll that intro, please. If you haven't already, please subscribe and hit that bell icon so you don't miss out. We talk about lessons on the craft, as we are, analyzing and reviewing storytelling, and interviews with fellow writers. Okay. Alpha readers' role and significance. These literary comrades are invaluable to your writing journey, and understanding their role is paramount. First and foremost, let's acknowledge the purpose of an alpha reader. They exist to dissect your manuscript from a functional perspective, while beta readers provide the reader's experience. Alpha readers are your mechanics, your quality control team. They're basically their goal of involving alpha readers is to ensure that your novel's functionality aligns with your creative vision. They delve deep into the narrative's engine, examining every cog and gear to ensure they mesh harmoniously. Imagine them as the architects who scrutinize the blueprints of your literary construction. One crucial aspect to grasp is that there is no one-size-fits-all approach when selecting alpha readers. Writers often ask, who should I choose? The question is simple. Those who understand and appreciate your creative vision. There's no wrong answer in this choice. Your alpha readers can be fellow writers, avid readers, or even individuals with specific expertise related to your novel's themes or settings. You control the questions. So it's important that you do ask people, whoever they are, that they at least are able to answer those questions. But more importantly, why it doesn't matter who you ask is because you're going to ask multiple people, and they should all have variations of skill and level and interests, because you want different eyes looking at it, different perspectives. The key is to remember that their role transcends personal reading pleasures. It's about assessing the functionality of your narrative. So when you receive feedback from your alpha readers, embrace it with an open heart. Have a doctor near you just in case you start bleeding everywhere because your heart is open. Anyway, their insights are the foundation upon which you'll build a stronger, more captivating story. I should say coherent story, but ultimately, alpha readers are your partners in the craft, helping you fine-tune the mechanics of your narrative and guiding you toward a final draft that shines. Embrace their expertise, collaborative efforts with you, and use their insights as the roadmap to bring your creative vision to its full potential. And remember, just because they say it doesn't mean you have to do it. Follow your gut creatively. So what is the functionality over experience, right? So that's why I said alpha readers are functionality, beta readers are their experience. Well, in the world of novel crafting, there are two distinct phases where readers play pivotal roles: alpha readers and beta readers. While both contribute to the refinement of your manuscript, it's essential to grasp the key differences between them. Alpha readers, as opposed to beta readers, are primarily concerned with the functionality of your narrative rather than their personal reading experience. All right. First and foremost, early assessment. Alpha readers step into your literary world at a crucial junction, the early stages of your manuscript. Their role is not to provide the emotional response or enjoyment that beta readers offer, but to the function as your manuscript's quality control team. Okay? Think of them as inspectors in a factory examining every part of the machinery for smooth operation. He's a smooth operator. Okay. Sorry about that. Please subscribe. Now, please don't leave. All right. Narrative mechanics. While beta readers assess the story's overall flow and emotional impact on them, alpha readers zoom in on the nuts and bolts. They focus on the technical aspects of storytelling, including plot structure, character development, pacing, continuity, and world building. Their goal is to ensure that the mechanics of your narrative are robust and well oiled. Now, they usually have objective feedback, unlike beta readers who offer subjective reactions based on their personal preferences. Alpha readers provide more objective feedback. And the reason is because they aren't evaluating whether they like the story or not. Instead, they're checking if your story works as intended. Their insights are essential for identifying plot holes, inconsistent character motivations, or pacing issues, elements that might disrupt the reader's experience. For example, a beta reader might be like, I don't believe this character's intentions. Like, I don't think these two have chemistry. I don't like it. I don't like the way it's working. Their relationship irks me. Whereas an alpha reader will go, character A's behavior, or whoever, Johnson's character, Johnson as a character is not consistent with his behavioral choices established in the previous chapters. Has nothing to do with if they like or dislike that character. They're literally looking for, if the character is compassionate 100% of the time, and then out of nowhere they're just not compassionate, and they are inconsiderate of people's feelings and stuff like that. They don't show the empathy that they have been showing. That's an inconsistency that an alpha reader would find. Okay. It also, alpha readers have a collaborative partnership with you because they become your narrative partners. They work closely with you to identify areas that need improvement and offer constructive suggestions. It's a collaborative process aimed at making your manuscript stronger and more coherent. I will say this. Neither an alpha reader or a beta reader is there to write their story with you. An alpha reader is to make sure that your story is being told clearly and utilizing consistency, especially with the plot, the characters, etc., etc. Beta readers are making sure that they are enjoying the overall narrative of your book. Okay. Another great thing about alpha readers are they are early interventions. Early feedback from alpha readers allows you to address fundamental issues in your manuscript before reaching the beta reader stages. And keep in mind, alpha and beta readers aren't there to look at grammar or spelling, right? But the alpha reader is saying, listen, your foundation has this issue, but this is working. And that isn't working, but this is working. So you can get it where the story, your narrative is working. And now your beta readers can read a book that at least structurally works. And now they get to focus on the experience of it. All right. And by having alpha readers work on the fundamental issues of the foundation, this can save you valuable time and effort in the long run, preventing you from making significant revisions after beta reader feedback. Now, while beta readers provide valuable emotional reactions and feedback from a reader's perspective, alpha readers are your mechanics working behind the scenes to ensure your narrative functions flawlessly. Now, their role overall is to ensure that your creative vision is effectively translating into a functional and engaging story. All right. Understanding this distinction is essential as you collaborate with alpha readers. Embrace their expertise and objectivity and use their insight to refine the mechanics of your narrative. With their help, you'll navigate the intricate labyrinth of storytelling and emerge with a manuscript that stands out strong. Did I spell that right? Guiding? Yeah, I spelled it right. All right, guiding questions for alpha readers. As you these questions will serve as a roadmap directing their attention to crucial fundamentals, functionalities of your novel's narrative. These are only 5 questions that will help empower your alpha readers to provide invaluable insight. Basically, you're guiding them to look for specific things. These are not the only questions you should ask. And keep in mind, in a novel, you have act 1, 2, and 3, or you could do 4 acts or 5 acts or 6 acts or 9 acts, whatever. But let's assume you're doing 3 acts. You want questions for each chapter, and then because you're going to let them read chapter by chapter, right? And then you want specific questions for the act at the end of each act, right? And if you're using the 27 plot point outline, you want questions for each section. So there's 9 sections in a story. So that's 9 sections. That's 3 acts, right? And then each chapter. And you could even get crazy in that. You could have questions for each plot point. You know, did I accomplish the ordinary world? Did you feel this inciting incident really was the thing? Did they react accordingly to their character to the inciting incident? Like, you could ask questions like that for each plot point as well. So you have to think beyond these questions. But I'm going to give you 5 areas, 5 questions they should A, be looking at, and B, get you thinking on what other things should be there. So as you can see, the scroll, the ticker on the bottom, there are 5. So the first one is the plot. Is the plot coherent? Challenge your alpha readers to scrutinize the plot's logical progression. Are there any gaps, inconsistencies, or unresolved questions? Ensure that the narrative threads connect seamlessly from beginning to end. Is the cause and effect relationship between events clear and compelling? Right? Those are important things that they're looking for their plot coherence. Number 2 is going to be, are character motivations clear? Characters are the driving force of any narrative. Instruct your alpha readers to examine whether character motivation are evident and consistent. Do characters' actions align with their established goals, desires, and conflicts? Ensure that their journeys resonate with authenticity and emotional depth. If somebody's a huge Giants fan, and out of nowhere, they're not a huge Giants fan, and they like the Miami Dolphins, only team to ever go undefeated in the football season, something's messed up. All right, number 3. Is pacing effective? All right. Effective pacing is crucial for reader engagement. We just did a pacing video, right? On the channel, I mean. There is a pacing video on the channel. You want to know if you want to encourage your alpha readers to assess whether the narrative's rhythm keeps them invested. Is there a balance between tension, suspense, and moments of reflection? You also want to ensure that pacing variations align with the story's natural ebb and flow. Number 4, does conflict drive the story? Conflict is the engine that propels the narrative forward. Right? So you need that, right? So task your alpha readers with evaluating the role of conflict. Is it a driving force in the story? Does it challenge your characters? And does it propel them towards their goals? So confirm that both internal and external conflicts are integral to the narrative's progression. And 5, do themes and subtext resonate? Beyond the surface narrative, themes and subtext provide depth and meaning. Encourage your alpha readers to explore whether the underlying themes resonate and enrich the story, if they recognize the themes at all. Discuss how these elements contribute to the narrative's overall impact. All right. By providing these guiding questions, you empower your alpha readers to look beyond their personal reading experience and focus on the crucial functionalities of your novel. Their insight will not only identify areas that require improvement, but also offer you a deeper understanding of how well your creative vision translates into your manuscript. You have to remember that this is a collaborative process, a partnership, if you may, or if you will, between you and your alpha readers. Their feedback, guided by these questions, will help you refine the mechanics of your narrative, ensure that it operates flawlessly, and captivates your readers. With their assistance, your manuscript will shine brighter with each revision, inching closer to its full potential. Final thought. A couple things before I really get into the final thought is make sure that your alpha readers want to actually answer the questions. Like if they write back and they're like, I don't want to answer these questions, and then they give you information on the chapter and it's just rambling, like, oh, this sentence doesn't make sense, or I want to know, what's their work schedule like, or who are they? Like, who's the, how long have they been married for? Right? Like, they're not helping you guide, like, because you know what your narrative is, and if they're only reading a chapter at a time, they don't know what the story is. So if they're like, I want to know more about this person, well, turn the page, because the next chapter you're going to learn a little bit more, not everything, but a little bit more, because that's how a novel works, right? Slowly allow the audience to discover the characters through their experiences, right? So them saying, I want to know more about this, or I didn't know about that, or that was confusing, or blah, 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 and you're like, well, why? And they're like, well, because they didn't answer your questions. They just were like, I'm just going to say anything. And you're like, but why? And they're like, well, I think you should really go into their backstory a little bit before you can, because this is only chapter 1. And I'm not emotionally connected to them and I want to know more. That's probably not the alpha reader for you. All right. The other thing you want to make sure is that they do it in a timely manner. Once a week, a chapter a week is great. 2 chapters a week is great, right? Remember, sometimes they're usually doing it for free. Sometimes they do it for a little moolah. Sometimes, you do right by them. You take them out to dinner, or you celebrate them. You show your appreciation. They're giving you their time, and that's literally the most valuable resource they have. And they're saying, I care about you. I love you, and I'm going to read this for you. If they're not being consistent, it's okay. It's not on them. They're not doing you wrong. People have lives. Things come up. It just means, you know what? Let them know they're off the hook. And if they're like, no, I really want to read it, you go, you read it on your own time, but just know I have to kind of move forward because I have a deadline myself. But I'm not asking you to go above and beyond what you're doing. I know you're busy. Trust me, I care about you. You're very important to me, and you did some great stuff already. But, it's okay. You don't have to do the next book. You know what I'm saying? But find readers that can do it in a timely manner. If it takes them 3 months to do 1 chapter, they might not be the right for your timeline, for what you're trying to accomplish. But with that said, reaching this pivotal step in your novel writing journey, where you actually get to work with alpha readers, is a grand accomplishment. These unsung heroes of the writing process hold the keys to unlocking your manuscript's full potential. As we conclude, I really think we should reflect on the significance of their role and the path that lies ahead. First and foremost, remember that alpha readers are your partners in the craft. Their primary objective is to assist you and assess the functionality of your narrative, not to pass judgment on personal reading experiences. This distinction is vital. Their feedback is not a final verdict. It's a guiding light, illuminating a path to a more refined and captivated story. So, embrace their insight with an open heart and an open mind. Their feedback is not the be-all and end-all of what needs to challenge or change in your book. It's a set of guidelines for your next draft. These guidelines will help you navigate through the revisions and give you some purpose with precision. Okay. Writing is a journey, and unlike like all journeys, it has challenges and triumphs. The insights from your alpha readers are only tools to help you navigate the terrain of your narrative, to basically smooth out rough patches, and to build a story that resonates with your readers. Personally, I would approach this phase with optimism and a growth mindset. Trust in the collaborative process between you and your alpha readers, for it is through this partnership that your manuscript will evolve and flourish. It's an opportunity to elevate your storytelling craft, to refine your characters and plot, and to breathe life into your creative vision. Remember, you can't see beyond the bias of your already emotionally connect knowledge to the story. You see everything because you know everything. So it's great to have them looking at stuff with no knowledge. So as you embark on the next leg of your writing process, keep in mind that every draft, every revision brings you closer to your end goal. And a manuscript that shines brightly among the stars of literature takes time. Embrace the challenges, celebrate the victories, and always keep the flame of your passion for writing burning. Your alpha readers are not just early evaluators. They are your fellow travelers on this literary adventure. Respect, applaud them, adore them, show them love. With their support and your unwavering dedication, you will craft a narrative that leaves a lasting imprint on the hearts and minds of your readers. Hopefully. Next video in this series will focus on step 10, writing your third draft with notes from your alpha readers. Basically, what do you got to do with those notes and how do you approach it? Question. What's the most valuable piece of feedback you've ever received from a reader or critique partner? Let me know in the comments below. And if you haven't done so already and you're like, this is some great stuff, please subscribe and hit the bell icon so you don't miss out. So now I got to hit the other thing. I got to hit this thing. I got to hit that button. And I got to go, as always, keep developing the right mindset. I'll see you next time. All right. Thank you. Bye.